I'm not looking forward to going hungry. I don't believe it applies to everyone, and I don't think many individuals can pull it off. I've had to struggle for all I've had. It's a volatile and politicized sector. Being married is not the same as not being married, and anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. I've always had the same guiding concept when it comes to casting. Produce movies that I'd pay to watch. I've always been competitive, and part of that is pushing your limits, taking a risk, and being willing to accept the loss that comes with it. I wake up early and head to the coffee shop to play cards. I no longer eat at McDonald's. I search for projects with directors that aspire to create unique experiences for their audiences. When you spend a lot of time, as I do, standing about and waiting or being transported from one location to another, every minute is absorbed by something that someone else has planned for you. And it's not like I'm usually in a lovely setting wearing something lovely. I've stood in bogs wearing a $500,000 necklace up to my knees in rot, wondering how much more or less the area smelled like a sewer than it did the day before. I'd sooner attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner than any other awards ceremony. I've always been driven to make my way since I was a small child. I still eat burgers at a counter, ketchup streaming down my chin. If you work as a public advocate, you must advocate publicly. I watched Supersize after seeing No Way, No How. I basically want to work on things that are really difficult. And when I'm not working on things that are extremely difficult, I want to hang out with people I like spending time with. Being ultra thin is not appealing to me. When I'm on vacation, all I can think about is work. I believe marriage is a really romantic notion. It's a lovely idea, and it can be a very beautiful thing to practice. I'm not asking people where to donate their money, but if a spotlight is to be cast on me, I'd prefer to steer it toward great organizations or fascinating, progressive persons. I believe in the concept of finding one's soulmate. Just because I'm the highest paid actress of all time doesn't imply I'm the highest grossing. I'm hoping they build a video game out of me. At the very least, I wouldn't have any cellulite. I had a great time working with Woody. I'd have liked to work in diagnostic medicine. I would never dare to portray a different race of person. Diversity is vital in Hollywood, and I would never want to feel like I was playing an objectionable role. I believe tabloid periodicals are horrible and the demise of civilization. If you feel glamorous, you will undoubtedly seem glamorous. It feels good to have a crush on someone. You know how it feels like you're alive? Chickens frighten me. They irritate me. They seem floppy or something. Plastic surgery is something I really believe in. I don't want to be a senile old woman. That's no way to have fun. I'm happiest when I have something to concentrate my efforts on. I may live in Paris for a couple of months, then work somewhere else, and then return to New York. My base is probably New Yorkish since my family is here, but since my husband's family is all in Paris, we try to spend as much time there as possible, especially now that Rose is here. I believe in meeting your soul partner. I've always been in monogamous marriages. I'd never want to be in one that was open. It'd be too bad. Monogamy might be difficult for certain individuals. He was more than I could have imagined. I'd do it again and again. I mean, getting a dinner reservation ahead of other people is good, but the most important thing to me is the real job. Being monogamous does not seem natural to me. Powerful women are often anxious that they will be seen in this merciless way. Screw it! It's so antiquated. It's unimaginative and downright cowardly. I've never been a big admirer of superhero comic books. I've always been curious about local politics. I never rule anything out, but I now have a pretty busy life with a very young kid. I still have a lot of goals for my career. For a long time, I can't envision it being an option. I believe that in 10 or 15 years, our children will look back and say, "What? You were there when homosexual people couldn't get married?" I never struggled to find out what I wanted to accomplish or what made the sparks fly for me. That has meant various things to me as I've gotten older. You expect your life to go one way and then, for many reasons or no reason at all, it doesn't. Knowing who Woody is a vital element of your cinematic history. His films are fantastic, not just humorous, but also insightful about human psychology. I would never walk into a film that I would not pay to see or that did not challenge me. Because I work a lot, I don't actually reside any place for lengthy periods of time. Most of the effect I make over time, I believe, most people will be unaware of. When I decide I want to have children with someone, I want to be married to that person. This is a job I like. It's something I like doing. It's nice to be pushed in this way. I work on projects where I believe I can make a difference. As a loving mother and private person, and fully aware that my daughter may one day be old enough to read the news about herself, I would just want to declare that I would never, ever remark on my marriage's collapse. One of the most flattering compliments a woman may get is that she is attractive. I'm not particularly good at damsel in distress. It's difficult for me to play the victim. I appreciate my private and personal life, and I never take advantage of them. I came to the idea that acting is, at its core, the capacity to alter one's own emotions. LA is a difficult place to be unless you have friends that care about you. It may be terribly lonely, and if you don't take care of yourself, it can eat you up. Nobody wants to speak to each other in Los Angeles, and everyone is throwing each other catty stares. It's crucial for individuals to sort out their own lives before engaging others to assess where they are and work on their own problems. I've always had high expectations of myself. There's no such thing as a mysterious aura anymore. It is not real. That is no longer the case. I believe that marriage initially includes many individuals who have nothing to do with your relationship, since it is a legally binding contract with weight. Everyone has faced discrimination or harassment. Sexism is real.